Hello, ladies and gentlemen. There will be more videos today, and we are starting a little bit early. Sorry that this video seems to be a little late. I am making this video as of 11:24 a.m. and hopefully I can get it out by 12 o'clock, but no guarantees because the processing takes forever. I may start doing this at 1080p because obviously this whole processing thing and ever is breaking down doing with 4K because it can handle 4K, and on top of that, it's taking these uploads to be way longer. So I may just do 4K starting 1080p starting next week because this is getting ridiculous. Anyways, what we have here is that we have pretty much Martin Luther King, where it's having a huge problem with transgender people going into their schools, or rather, going into their bathrooms, causing fights, and all this stuff. It's not just one simple fight, though. It's been multiple fights on and on and on for X period amount of time. And what we're trying to be shown by these Democrats or whatever, that it's okay, they need to be accepted. Well, here's the thing. I think that these people are only doing it to maybe even sexually harass or abuse women, and I think this is coming more clear and clear, and the teens and the kids are getting fed up with it. Take a look.
Not on the agenda, though, is the reason why there's an overflow crowd here. Parents from Martin Luther King High School want to know more about these fights that were started allegedly by a transgender student. There have been multiple fights. Take a look. Two students arguing at Martin Luther King High School. It's unclear who started the fight, but the tall student is said to be trans. There's pushing and shoving, and eventually another student jumps in and fists fly. Parents and students say the tall student identifies as trans, and that gave the student access to the locker room and bathrooms designated for females.
Yeah, she is homeschooled.
This parent didn't want to be identified, but says she's pulled her daughter out of school for her safety.
The fights that are unacceptable, the things that she does encounter, other students have encountered, walking in the bathrooms, PE, just the acceptance is fine.
Fine, she says, but claims the school is doing too much to accommodate a couple of trans students. She's complained but got no satisfaction.
Everything was on the hush-hush.
Oh, they didn't want to talk to you?
They didn't want to talk to us about it.
Students say fights are an every week occurrence, but the last two fights involved this one trans student, adding fuel to the fire, rumors of the trans student's behavior.
And then he's also in the girls' locker room using girls' restrooms. He spit on my friends that are girls, females, and he shows his genitals in the locker room.
This is another mother who wanted to stay anonymous. She has a female sophomore student and believes the trans student presents as masculine, and that should be enough to keep them away from the teen girls. But she tries to understand the trans student's struggles.
They're obviously acting out because they obviously mentally or probably just have a lot of emotion. They have a lot of feeling going on, and they probably don't know how to handle what's going on and how they're being treated.
But the mom also says this is not an acceptable way to handle their feelings. Riverside Unified School District released a statement this afternoon that says that the trans student at the center of those fights, will no longer attend Martin Luther King High School. But I talked to a couple of parents. I'm not sure that that is enough to satisfy them. Reporting live in Riverside, Susan Hirosuna, Fox 11 News.
With the crowd.
Notice how the young man has said that he shows his genitals in the locker room and spits onto girls. This is not somebody that you would call maybe, in the right mind. This is what you would call somebody a bad individual, and you would probably even say you would want to hear from the females, or at least a lot of the females, what they say, a misogynist, because normally you don't see normal people do this. Men don't normally do this in most regard. So why is this person allowed to do all these things, not get expelled, and then the only time they're able to get expelled is if actually they have news coverage and people flaming them, even the own kids. Which, by the way, their kids now actually fight up against this BS, and they are getting tired of it, as they should. As I said before, there is a awakening coming, and there are people rejecting this insanity. It was only a matter of time, and when the true when the true detransitioners really come out in full force, the whole transgender movement is really going to start to crumble. We're not no longer playing these games, people, because this is the reality that we're facing. Take a look at this. What these students braver than most of you all are doing to combat it. If we're too afraid to speak, then our only hope is to fall as a country, and these students are doing the exact opposite.
Ladies and gentlemen, and only ladies and gentlemen it is and shall always be. I am an 18-year-old high school student and wanted to take this time to bring to your attention the current issue with biological men claiming they are women and in turn truly believing that they are entitled to use women's spaces. There was an incident within our district that occurred recently regarding a transgender woman who really is a biological man having an altercation with a young woman at MLK High School. It was infuriating when I had seen the video on social media, but what was detrimental to this is the fact that this man is and has been using the women's restroom and locker room. Why don't we ever get a say in whether or not we are comfortable with this? The truth is, we aren't. The majority of us aren't, and yet nothing has been done to protect the safety of these women. I will conclude with this. It all starts with you. You are in charge of the safety of us women and the kids of our parents. So please do something about it. Thank you.
Yeah, so now these kids have officially become tired of it. They're getting sick and tired of it, and they're no longer want to play these games, no longer want to be in this manner. As I said before, it's only a matter of time until we see a lot of these assaults, I would say the graping assaults, happening in schools. Now, I don't know if they're ever going to report that, because you know, it's just a hidden lie. Most be like some of the schools would hide. But this is the reality that these kids are going to end up facing. And they are angry, and most of the women rightfully so, because they can easily be assaulted with no regard, and the school would defend them. Just like how one school decided to defend a 12-year-old getting raped and another girl getting raped in a school bathroom and then in a school locker room because they allowed transgender to be into the bathrooms. These people are not right in the head. Plain and simple. And anybody that thinks that they are not. I suspect you maybe should go watch some graping videos to try to enlighten you on how bad it is. Now, you won't see me here to where women should, when they get raped, that they should automatically just be able to bear a child. I am not that type of person. I think there are a lot of trauma and other issues that ensues, so therefore, I can understand why an abortion would be needed in this sense, because the trauma is too much. Is more than understandable to want to abort the said child. Granted, some people also bring up the notion of Plan B, but of course, yes, they should be taking that. But you have to understand the from a woman's perspective as well that the rape, it was being quite horrible. But aside from that, this is the reality that we have to be facing. The kids are finally getting tired of this, and the detransitioners are soon going to be coming. I think I did recently a video to where it was 46K, where it risen up at least 1K in the past couple of months, and it's going to increase. The reality is that all these things takes time. Social decay takes time. Morality starts to decay, and all these things take time. This is not an immediate effect. This is just a band-aid putting over a wound. It won't heal completely, and we have to fix this problem. A gaping wound will not heal, not through a band-aid by its own means. You need to do surgery and do the immediate attention. We're not doing the immediate attention, and who's the fault of this? Women, kids are being put at the front and center. They are our lifeblood, and they are being suffered because of horrible democratic policies that want to allow kids to be raped, and among many other things, to where everybody has to lose their rights. It's a good thing, though, that they're fighting back, because at this point in time, we have kids being more braver than adults. And if adults can't be a shining example for their own children, then who else can they look up to? That's it for the video, guys. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.